Before you dive into the haunting dreamscapes and twisted mythologies of the Sandman Season 2, let's rewind the surreal clock and revisit everything that went down in Season 1. Neil Gaiman's adaptation delivered a spellbinding blend of gothic fantasy, existential dread, and deeply human storytelling, all through the eyes of Dream, the immortal lord of the dreaming. Whether you watched it once and forgot half of it, or you're just jumping on the Sandman train, this video has you covered. Welcome back to your nerdy show. I'm your host, Spoiler Master. From Dream's capture and escape to his journey reclaiming lost relics, from his touching reunion with death to his showdown with a rogue nightmare called the Corinthian. Season 1 was packed with cosmic drama, ancient rivalries, and powerful emotional revelations. And let's not forget the emergence of a dream vortex that could unravel the universe. So before Morpheus returns with new nightmares and old enemies, here's everything you need to know. Episode 1, The Sleep of the Just. The series kicks off in 1916 as Dream, one of the Endless, is captured by occultist Roderick Burgess during a ritual intended to summon death. Instead, he accidentally traps Dream inside a glass sphere. Burgess aims to bargain with Dream for wealth and power, but Dream remains silent and imprisoned for over a century. During his captivity, Dream's realm falls into chaos, and millions in the waking world suffer from sleep disorders. Some can't wake up, others can't sleep at all. Meanwhile, a nightmare known as the Corinthian escapes to Earth, committing gruesome murders and urging the Magus to keep Dream locked up. Years pass, and Burgess's son Alex becomes the reluctant heir to the prison. Despite his guilt, he never fully releases Dream, until one day by accident, the protective seal is broken by Alex's lover Paul. Dream escapes, returns to his decayed kingdom, and vows to reclaim his lost artifacts. A pouch of sand, a ruby, and his helm. Episode 2, Imperfect Hosts. Dream is weakened from his long imprisonment and needs power to begin his restoration efforts. To track his tools, he must consult the fates, which requires an offering, the essence of something he created. He decides to absorb the life force of Gregory, a loyal gargoyle cared for by Cain and Abel. It's a heartbreaking sacrifice, but it grants Dream the power to summon the fates. The fates inform Dream of the item's locations. The pouch of sand is with an exorcist named Johanna Constantine. The helm was traded to a demon in hell, and the ruby is with John D., son of Ethel Cripps. Meanwhile, Corinthian visits Ethel and warns her that Dream is coming. Ethel uses an amulet of protection, obtained by trading one of Dream's artifacts, to banish Corinthian. Dream then departs to Earth to begin his retrieval mission, while leaving his loyal librarian, Lucien, behind. Before he goes, Dream gifts Cain and Abel a new baby gargoyle, Gervin, showing a flicker of compassion. Episode 3, Dream a Little Dream of Me. Dream tracks down Johanna Constantine, a jaded exorcist haunted by nightmares of past failures. She agrees to help Dream recover his pouch of sand in exchange for relief from her trauma. They visit her ex-girlfriend Rachel, who has been using the pouch and is now trapped in an endless dream, slowly deteriorating. Dream shows a rare act of mercy and eases Rachel's passing, reclaiming the pouch. Meanwhile, Matthew the Raven joins Dream as a companion, much to his annoyance. Their bond starts off rocky but begins to solidify. Elsewhere, Ethel dies after giving her protection amulet to her imprisoned son, John, allowing him to escape. He is picked up by a kind woman named Rosemary as he sets out to retrieve the ruby. Corinthian watches from the shadows, plotting his next move. Your kingdom is mine. Episode 4, A Hope in Hell. With his pouch recovered, Dream heads to Hell to retrieve his helm. He meets Lucifer Morningstar, ruler of Hell, and challenges the demon who possesses the helm, Choronzon, to a battle. But it's not a physical fight, it's a metaphysical one using words and imagination. Each round builds upon the last. Predator versus prey, illness versus healer, escalating until Lucifer claims anti-life, appearing unbeatable. Dream counters with hope, stunning Lucifer and winning back his helm. Meanwhile, John and Rosemary's car ride grows increasingly tense. John reveals disturbing truths about his past and the ruby's power. When a gas station attendant tries to intervene, John kills him using the amulet. Despite the danger, John spares Rosemary's life and even gives her the amulet, suggesting there's still a trace of humanity in him. Dream uses the helm to track down his ruby, but when he touches it, it blasts him unconscious. John has altered the ruby to only respond to him. John arrives moments later and reclaims it, fully empowered.
I command you!
Episode 5, 24/7. This haunting bottle-style episode takes place almost entirely in a diner, where John tests the ruby's power to create a world without lies. Initially, it seems like an experiment in honesty. Customers confess secrets, flirtations turn to passion, but things rapidly devolve into chaos, violence, and tragedy. Bet, a waitress and aspiring writer, imagines the diner's patrons as wholesome stories, but under John's influence, everything unravels. Secret affairs are revealed, relationships implode, and violence erupts. People die, some by accident, others by suicide. And by the end of the day, the diner is a blood-soaked scene of carnage. John believes he's liberated them by stripping away their lies. He watches the chaos unfold with a mix of wonder and sorrow, convinced he's created something better. Dream finally awakens and confronts John. They battle through dreams and illusions, but the final blow comes when John, in an effort to absorb Dream's powers, crushes the ruby. Instead of destroying Dream, this act releases the ruby's power back to its original owner. Dream defeats John and returns him to a psychiatric hospital. With his pouch, helm, and now the essence of the ruby restored, Dream is more powerful than ever. But a new threat looms. The Corinthian, still on Earth and more dangerous than ever.
Can I get anything you desire?
Episode 6, The Sound of Her Wings. After reclaiming his tools, Dream wanders aimlessly through a park, lost in an existential funk. His sister, Death, appears and invites him to accompany her during her daily duties, gently ushering souls to the afterlife. Through a series of poignant encounters, Dream learns that the Endless do not exist to rule humanity, but to serve them. The episode also revisits a centuries-long experiment between Death and Dream. In 1389, they overhear a man, Hob Gadling, declare he has no intention of dying. Dream grants him immortality and meets him every 100 years to ask if he's ready to die. Hob always says no, regardless of his circumstances. Eventually, Hob calls Dream his friend, though Dream initially denies the bond and storms off in 1889. In 1989, Dream misses their meeting due to being imprisoned, but in the present, he returns to find Hob again, finally calling him a friend. Meanwhile, Desire plots in the background, hinting at a scheme to destroy Dream.
What power have dreams?
Episode 7, The Doll's House. We're introduced to Rose Walker, a young woman searching for her long-lost brother, Jed. She's unknowingly a dream vortex, a powerful being who can reshape the dreaming and threatens its very fabric. Dream learns that 3 dreams or nightmares are still missing: Corinthian, Fiddler's Green, and Gault. Rose travels to England, meeting Unity Kincaid, her great-grandmother who mysteriously bore a child while in a decades-long magical sleep. Unity bankrolls Rose's trip to Florida to find Jed. In a parallel plot, serial killers gather in Alabama to plan their convention. They want the legendary Corinthian, a rogue nightmare who removes and eats his victims' eyes, as their guest of honor. Dream sends Matthew the Raven to keep tabs on Rose. When Rose taps into her vortex powers, she stumbles into the dreaming and meets Dream. He offers to help her find Jed. Meanwhile, Jed is trapped in a horrific foster home in Florida, abused by Barnaby and Clarice. Rose learns their names in a dream and starts tracking them down, not knowing Corinthian is one step ahead. Episode 8, Playing House. Jed escapes his abuse through superhero dreams created by Gault, a nightmare who wants to be a dream. Gault is eventually caught by Dream and sent back to the dreaming. Meanwhile, Rose and Hal search tirelessly for Jed. Lyda Hall, Rose's friend, also helps and begins having vivid dreams about her dead husband, Hector. In the dream, Hector builds her a house, and they conceive a child. When Lyda wakes, she's still pregnant. Even in the real world, Ms. Rubio, a social worker, is tipped off about Jed's abuse but is murdered by Corinthian before she can help. He gets Jed's location and kills Barnaby and Clarice, taking Jed away before Rose can arrive. She finds only a crime scene, unaware that Jed is now in Corinthian's custody.
Open your hands!
Episode 9. Collectors Rose travels to Georgia with Gilbert, another quirky guest from her Florida bed and breakfast, to retrieve Jed. They arrive at the hotel hosting the Serial Convention, which is actually a cover for serial killers. Corinthian is there as the keynote speaker, using Jed as bait to lure Rose. In the Dream discovers Lyda's ghost husband is disrupting reality. He confronts Hector and sends him to the afterlife, angering Lyda. Dream warns Rose her powers are unraveling the boundaries between the dreaming and the waking world. Gilbert recognizes the danger and flees to the dreaming, revealing he's actually Fiddler's Green, a rogue dream who wants to make amends. Dream prepares to intervene. Back in Georgia, Corinthian saves Rose and Jed from a child predator at the hotel, using the moment to manipulate Rose further into trusting him. Episode 10. Lost Hearts. Corinthian brings Rose and Jed to his hotel room and warns Rose that Dream plans to kill her to protect the dreaming. He urges her to use her Vortex powers to destroy Dream instead and free beings like him. During the convention, Corinthian gives a chilling speech to the serial killers before Dream arrives. A fight ensues, but Dream is weakened by Rose's ongoing collapse of the dreaming's boundaries. Corinthian nearly wins, until Rose regains control and restores the barriers, letting Dream unmake Corinthian. Dream spares the lives of the serial killers but removes their illusions, forcing them to feel the weight of their crimes. Many are devastated and broken, a poetic, if unlikely, punishment. The final conflict is Dream versus Rose. As Rose's powers spiral into a vortex that threatens to consume reality, she agrees to sacrifice herself. Dream prepares to end her, but is interrupted by Unity, who reveals she was the original Vortex. While she slept, Unity was impregnated by a man with golden eyes, Desire. The Vortex powers passed from Unity to Rose, her descendant. Unity asks Rose to transfer the Vortex into her so she can die instead, saving Rose and the universe. Rose agrees, and Unity dies peacefully. Epilogue and final twists. Time passes. Rose becomes a writer in New York. Lyda gives birth. Hal moves to NYC to chase Broadway dreams. All seems well, but back in the dreaming, Dream confronts Desire and realizes their plot. They orchestrated Unity's pregnancy to create a vortex and draw Dream into a trap. Dream warns them, meddle again, and he'll bring war with destiny and death. He also redeems Gault, turning the former nightmare into a dream, a rare act of grace, showing how much Dream has grown since the beginning of the season. The final scene cuts to hell. Lucifer schemes with Azazel, planning to go to war against the dreaming, the waking world, and the Silver City. The season ends on this ominous note, setting up the stakes for Season 2.
I set the meter. And
Our nerdy thoughts. And there you have it, a complete refresher of the Sandman Season 1, everything you need to be fully prepared for the dream storm ahead in Season 2. With Lucifer plotting, Desire still scheming, and Dream more determined than ever to restore order in the dreaming, the next chapter is bound to raise the stakes in ways we can't yet imagine. Whether it's your first visit to the world of the endless or a return trip through the shadows of dreams, one thing is certain: the universe of the Sandman is only just beginning to unfold. Season 1 laid the groundwork for gods, monsters, mortals, and everything in between. And if Gaiman's source material is any indication, we're headed for an even deeper dive into madness, mystery, and myth. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more Sandman content. And remember, never take dreams lightly. They're more powerful than you think.